Yes.
So I would have my children going door to door.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you and Terry was in your little pampers or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
And I get them all together. We're going to give out bread. We're going to give out whatever. And then we are going to say, I have a Bible study at my home.
Uh-huh.
I have a this, whatever it is. That's a segue into getting into the home.
So you
You're
always
not
gave
going,
them a gift first.
right,
Okay.
right. Give them something.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And then I said to them,
Meeting a
okay,
need.
well,
Something,
you,
some type of a need,
my,
correct?
my children couldn't remember the speech because they were too little. So they would always say, help the needy children.
Yeah.
And I used to tell my kids, these people think we are begging, son.
Yeah.
Pull out the stuff.
Yeah.
Help the needy children. So anyway, we went from helping the needy children to getting you and all the other children involved in the Bible studies.
Uh-huh.
Come to my house. We'll have a Bible study. We'll sing songs. I'll show you how to read your Bible, how to go through the text and give the stories to the children.
Mm-hmm.
And so sure, I'd have 40, 50, 60 people in there. I don't know how many. But then there came a time, during that time, when I realized that the children couldn't read that well.
Mm.
The parents couldn't read that well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm one to say, I'm not going to the mayor or anybody because I don't like meetings. I don't like getting together with a committee.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do anything. I'll tell you the truth. They don't do anything. They just pontificate.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the big words I learned at the university. They pontificate. So I just made myself a committee of one
Mm-hmm.
and bought a building on Mulberry Street and opened it up to the community. I hired a man to come in and teach computer classes
Mm-hmm.
and all kinds of games and things for the children to get them off the street and into a
Mom,
program.
please share the date when we were on Mulberry Street so they can know this is long before the computer age. This is long before the computer age. This had to be 84, 80, 83, 84.
It's got to be the 80s. It's got to be in the
Yes,
80s.
because Terry went to Pine Forge in 86. So
Right,
Terry
I
was
remember that.
she was still there with us. So
Yes.
it had to be 83, 84,
It
85.
had the 82 or 3, yes. Yes,
Yes.
that's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Yes.
So I don't know, maybe I've always been ahead of my time
Yes, ma'am.
because I've always seen things before they happen.
Yes, ma'am.
And I make sure that when they happen, there's some catch in the place to help what's going to happen. So as I'm working with the children in the neighborhood, and I see my children in the backyard playing with the dog and having a good Christian life, but I see children walking the street with no food,
Right.
ill-clad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I personally,
Mm-hmm.
I think that building cost me $75,000.
Okay. Committee of one, $75,000. There you go.
$75,000. The man said I want $75,000 for this building, and I had to pay over a period of, not all at once, but a period of time,
Mm-hmm.
$75,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I had to bought the computers. I had to pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pay for the teachers. I had to pay for everything, light and gas.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to switch over from 110 to 220 because we had all these computers running and the place was open, long hours of the night and the day.
Mm-hmm.
But the money was always coming out of my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
No one
Yes.
has ever given me a dime for anything.
Committee of one.
I just got on my knees and prayed to the Lord and
Yes.
asked the Lord
Mm-hmm.
to give me the funds
Mm-hmm.
to help me to budget because I wasn't drinking, I don't smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So the little bit of funds I had, I said, Lord, let me use them
Mm-hmm.
to purchase this building,
Mm-hmm.
to open it up. And then the people that were coming to my house could now bring their children to the center for recreation and play games and whatever else in it. So I kept that for several years. During that time, on my street, a drug dealer took over a house.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out about it it wasn't one of our drug dealers, it was another drug dealer for out of town. And the man who owned the house was living in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote him or I called him and said, the drug dealers are taking over your house. He was even too scared to come to the house.
Mm.
So I just walked in the house one day and told the drug dealer, I don't know where you're supposed to be, but this is not the place.
I heard that.
So I want you to get up, get out, and keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to turn this house into a man's house to help the men. The drug dealer thought I was kidding.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at him and said, don't even think about it. I've got Jesus on my side.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have no gun, nothing else. I'm just standing up there talking, just like I'm talking to you right now.
You also got three. You also got three sons that run that block called Gregory, Percy, and Brian too.
Yeah, I had three sons backing me up. I sure did. I had three sons backing me up. And one, Brian, he knew the street very well, and he said, don't even think about talking to my mom.
And your fourth son, Damon Leggett, also. Yes, yeah. Don't forget Brian's sidekick, Damon Leggett. Yes, ma'am.
What happened? What really made the man move was Jesus. But
yes.
when the people found out, the neighborhood found out. See, that you got to have a neighborhood behind you.
Mm-hmm.
When the neighborhood found out that I wanted to pick up homeless men who were trying to get on their feet,
mm-hmm.
to give them a start, then they came together and said, no, let Miss Harris have this house.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I got the first and the second house.
And that first house, is that 221 Walnut? Is that?
No.
Okay.
No, that was the third house.
Okay.
The first house was next door to me. The third house was across town. And the third house, now that's where the problem started. And right during that time, my daughter died, Vanessa.
Yes.
And she died. She was the treasure for the church.
Yes, she was.
And I told them, I buried her that Friday, and that Sabbath, I said, well, I'll help take the money, hold on to the monies until the conference sends someone to take over. Because they took up the tithe, and I'm saying, well, Vanessa ain't back there, so what y'all gonna do? Where y'all putting the money? So they put all the money in the bag, and I count the money and whatever. And my husband went home to wait for me because he locked me in the place, in the church.